received our Nordhaven 15,000 nautical mile flag in the mail.
Yeah, I think we gave you guys a bit of a heads up about it, that we were calculating our mileage last video. So here it is. The Nordhaven was right quick sending it to us. Took about 2 weeks. So
yay! We're going from a green flag to a yellow flag this time.
yeah.
Yay! 15,000 nautical miles. So even Ranger's happy about it. Hopefully we'll put on some more this year.
We're heading out for a 2-day weekend, and we were asked to show some of our pre-trip stuff.
We pack like we're going out for a month.
Yeah,
I'm putting all our groceries away.
we always bring way too much food, and we always bring it.
Water's open.
We always bring it all home.
It's like,
But
bring
it's
it
bet-
to the boat, bring it home, bring it to the boat.
It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Got our broccoli. Ranger's got his winter jacket on. Hey, did Mom and Dad get you a new winter jacket? Yeah? You like it?
Or did just Mom do that to you?
Come here, Ranger, you look cute. Hi.
Ranger, I took no part in getting you this jacket, just so that you know. I still love you, and I would not embarrass you in front of your friends.
Hey, put his hat on. Put your winter park on. It's like his head juts forward or something, or maybe it, I don't know. There. Ranger, look at Mom. Ranger.
Well, we'll do a quick night before pre-trip check. So I just checked the basic stuff tonight. A lot of the stuff I like to check while the engine's running. So while it's cold, obviously I check the coolant level. So not so much like a car, we don't want it full to the top. We just want to, basically, if I can reach it, it's full, right? So it's down about this far. It's good, not leaking. I don't see any leaks anywhere. Check the oil. When the engine's been running, you're supposed to pull the dipstick, wipe it, put it back in and pull it out. But the engine's been sitting for 3 weeks now. So I know that it's already down. I don't really need to do that because it's sitting at the proper level. And that's good. Check the fuel. Everything's okay with that. We're almost full on that side and totally full on this side. On this side, I have a quick look from behind. You can see the belts. Make sure everything's good there. And then I make sure our bilge pump float switch works. And for that, I have this hanger here. And way down in here, I don't know if you'll be able to get that on the camera, but I lift the float. Make sure everything's working good with that. We do have 3 bilge pumps on Skookum, so there's also a vacuum pump at the back here behind the generator. And so our primary pump is this great big rule. Our secondary pump is a vacuum pump. And then when all else fails, there's the manual pump. And I'll tell you, that pumps a lot of water when you start pumping on it. If we were gonna use the wing engine, I'd do a whole bunch of checks on that, but we're not gonna. But I'll still check it because we could have an emergency where I need to. So it has an oil dipstick right here. I'll give that a quick look. Everything's good with that. It's actually clear. You can see right through it still. I must not have many hours on it. I checked the coolant level. This one has a sight bowl. Everything's good there. I can see the tube's full. There's no airlock in it. Really, this one, the belts are fine. This one, I just did a lot of work on it, so I'm fairly confident everything's okay. Check the hoses, make sure there's no leaks. I would check the gear, but the gear is supposed to be checked while the engine's idling. And that's where the proper level is at. And that's the same, I got the gear here for the main engine. I would check this here also while the engine's running. Next is a generator. Again, there is lots of checks that you can do. No need to get carried away at this point, because before I run it, I'll do a full check. And ideally, we're not going to run this until Sunday morning. Here I see I got lots of coolant. See, it's at the low end because it's cold. Once you run it, it heats up and it comes up about this level. So if it's at this level and you run it, it overflows, right? So as it expands. So in here, fairly basic. I check the coolant, I check the oil, and then I just look for anything obvious. I have a white pad underneath the engine, and that's so that if the pad's not white, something's wrong, right? So I can see on the pad there's no leaks. This is the raw water pump, so I'll check that to make sure that there's no drips. So, and I do that just by feeling under it. And the reason I do this is because I've changed that pump twice now.
Morning, Ranger. Time for coffee. We're just gonna take Ranger to go pee-pee before our little cruise. Let's go up to the top. Come on. It's really nice out. Shut the heater off down there. I'm going to start untying some ropes on the back. We just got the boat started and we're just going to start to untie us from the dock here. We have to unplug the electrical cords too. Holy, it's like frozen. The rope's a little frozen. I can't wrap it up yet. It's like solid. It's a chilly one out. I think it's about -4 degrees Celsius this morning. It's not terrible, but it's just that damp, moist, cold, bone-chilling cold here. Okay, I'm gonna close the door. Get going here. What? You want in and you want out? You want in and out? Hey, in and out. I think the ropes are still a bit frozen. Oh, Derek's able to loop it up still. Here's our trusty remote. This is what we use to steer the boat with our autopilot. We think the battery's starting to die. It is a few years old. It just dies really quick now, but it does look kind of old-fashioned compared to what they have now. This is probably about 20 years old. One day we'll do an upgrade, but we're looking at big bucks to upgrade our electronics on Skookum. Derek would like to get a few displays, new autopilot, new radar. We could be looking at $30,000 to $40,000 just to upgrade our electrical in Skookum. That kind of hurts thinking of that. So you know what? We're happy with what we have now. It works. So why rush and replace it? We'll wait till it completely dies and then we'll be forced to upgrade.
Good morning. So we are heading out for the weekend. We have today, which is Saturday, and tomorrow Sunday for our first trip of 2025. Before we left, we checked the weather. The Douglas Channel is where we are currently. When you go on the government website and you look at the Douglas Channel, it gives you a detailed marine forecast. It's fairly accurate, but I won't say 100% accurate, but much more accurate than the Windy or the Predict Wind app. And nothing against those apps, they're great in other areas, just for some reason in our area they never really line up. So if you're from out of the area and you're coming to the area, the best source of weather is the marine app or the marine weather updates on the VHF radio. So before we left, I checked and it's at 5 to 15 outflow, which is the wind flowing out of the channel into the Pacific Ocean. So 5 to 15 outflow, changing to 10 to 20 this afternoon, and then 20 to 30 overnight. Then it's supposed to stay tomorrow 20 to 30 until tomorrow evening. So that means we're going to be a headwind 20 to 30 knots pounding our way back to the marina. Some things to consider in this area is the bays you can anchor in. So predominantly we get a south wind in the Douglas Channel. So there's several bays that are great anchorages for that. And now it's north wind, and there's only a few options in our area and in our range for the time we have to travel that are great anchorages. So we're heading to one, well, we're not 100% sure which one we're heading to, but we're heading in the direction where there's two in one area. So which one we anchor in, we won't know until we get there. So doing a little project here. We're replacing this foil bubble wrap type insulation in the windows with this white styrofoam. It's just a packing material that came, like, they use it for shipping so the product doesn't get damaged. And we felt we'd recycle or upcycle or free cycle, whatever they call it, and use it for our windows because it's thicker, so it'll stay in place better. It's white, so it's nicer to look at rather than this. Kind of makes me feel like I'm living in a grow operation or something. So, and we're gonna just try it. We don't have enough to do all our windows, but a few of the main big windows, most of the pilot house windows we were able to do last week. All our port light windows we can do. So we're gonna give it a shot and see how it works. We're gonna just roll those up and put them away in case this project is not as efficient or not as good, and then we have a backup.
I like how they're thicker. They're like, are they twice as thick or three times as thick?
They're like 4 or 5 times as thick. This is probably, if I was to guess, about ½ inch or like a 9/16 of an inch, possibly. Typically, this style of foam that you get in packing is like maybe 1/8 of an inch. It's quite thick,
nice.
Though, if you look at my
That'll
finger.
be nice. That'll keep out some cold out of our...
Yeah, so now I'll cut it out and put it in place and see what happens.
Okay, what looks better? The white styrofoam or the foil bubble wrap? This foil bubble wrap is kind of see-through. I like this stuff better. Derek's just getting ready to take our dinghy down so we can go for a little cruise. I think he's gonna put a stern anchor down too. Oh, I can hear him pumping up the dinghy. It's a neat little cove in here. We've never anchored here before. Derek's making some of our canned salmon lettuce wraps with guacamole. Canned salmon. Derek's out there. He's gonna drop our stern anchor down into the shallows, and then the boat won't swing all night. I think I'm dressed up warm enough to go for a dinghy ride. I have my battery operated vest on. I have my battery socks on, heated socks. And I'm ready to go. And I got my snow boots and snow pants on. Those of you who watch our previous videos know that I I really don't like being cold at all. I have Raynaud's, so my toes and my fingers turn white when I get cold, or even a shiver. They just go cold, and it really, really hurts with Raynaud's. So I dressed up like we're in the Arctic right now. Oh, it's really shallow here. Ranger, don't even think of jumping in. We're just gonna check out this little beach here. Look around, maybe look in the bush for a sec. What do you smell? Huh? Do you smell our chicken dinner? Just gonna heat our chicken dinner up in the microwave here. We have the smaller generator going, so time to... Oh, that's my broccoli.
Almost.
Almost done. Derek's had to put in this new foam and little 6-port windows so far. No,
7.
7. Well, it's 9:20 p.m. and Derek's just taking Ranger out to shore. Hey Ranger, did you have a good pee? Did you have a good pee-pee? Morning. We had a really good sleep last night. It was so calm in this new little cove we're in. We thought, yay, we found a future place to stay when the north winds are just whipping through the channel. It was a bit cold this morning. We have this habit of we don't leave the furnace running all night. I don't know, maybe we just don't want to burn diesel, because burning diesel means burning money. So we're a little bit cheap that way. But when we woke up in the boat, Derek said this morning at 6:30 it was 9 degrees Celsius in here. So he thought Jennifer will never get out of bed. So he did flick on the furnace for me. And I think it's up to, oh, it's 14 degrees right now. That's why I'm wearing my hat and I got my big sweater on. But you know, in the night in bed, I don't even notice when it's cold in the boat. It's just in the morning. It has to be warm for me. Derek is just taking Ranger to shore to do his thing, and I'm just making coffee. We did turn on the big generator, our 8 kilowatt generator actually, and we're just like slowly, like, you know, making hot water, having coffee going, having heaters going, and we're probably going to be heading back soon. The winds are predicted, I think, 20 to 30 knots, so we're really hoping when we turn the corner out here to go back to the marina, it isn't really choppy and big waves. But if it is, we just lock some cupboards and just hold on to Ranger and ride the waves home. Since we have the 8 kilowatt generator running and we are in a really nice bay, clean water, crystal clear, we thought we would make some water with our water maker. We just turn on the low pump, the high pump, and Derek turns some valves. There we go. We're making water now. After a bit of a rough ride home, we made it back safely to our dock. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.